Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to Kingspade channel. So initially, I want to talk more about my hunter build, but I realized that there are a lot of things that we do not know yet, which make it hard to understand if you do not know the fundamental of it. One of it is the pad. You might not know fully what the pad does or what it actually used for in Ragnarok Rebirth. So in this video, I will explain all you need to know about the pad. Alright, the pad in ROR have two functions. One is for combat and two is for dispatch. And the pad that you use for combat is different for the one that you use for dispatch. Essentially, you want to use different pad for combat and dispatch. Let's talk about the dispatch first. Dispatch in Ragnarok Rebirth is a feature similar to the life skill in ROX or in other game like ROO or ROM for that matter. I mostly play ROX, Ragnarok X Next Generation, so I'll be comparing the features in this game to ROX for easier understanding. The dispatch has mining, collect and hunt, which is similar to ROX life skill mining, gathering and fishing. Mining is to collect minerals, collect is to gather flowers or produce, and hunt is to get fishing related items. While in ROX you need to use stamina and perform skill actions to get these items, in ROR you do not need to do that. Instead, you deploy or dispatch your pad to get these items for you. Similar to ROX, you still need the stamina for getting these items, but in ROR it is called vitality. I had actually observed the amount of vitality you get in the game, and I found that you will get 55 vitality for every 15 minutes. Yeah, you need to wait quite a long time to dispatch your pad again. Now, the start or the quality of your pad will affect the amount of the items that you will get when dispatch the pad. When you dispatch a pad, there are three things to consider: the dispatch time duration, the vitality consumption, and the output. The dispatch time is how long your pad can be dispatched. The vitality consumption is the amount of vitality needed to dispatch the pad. The longer the pad can be dispatched, the higher the vitality needed. And the expected output is the ability of the pad to carry the amount of the item that you will get for the time duration. Sending out your pad with lower expected output, or if it is in red, will discard the extra item that you are supposed to get. So when you should be getting 10 items, for example, you will only get 8. So make sure to send out pad that is not in red. But how to make sure that your pad is good enough to be dispatched? That is when you need to look at the pad dispatch stat. At the pad dispatch stat, there are HP, weight limit, and productivity. Each one of these are the stats that directly affect the three things that I mentioned earlier. The HP is translated to how long it can venture or dispatch. The weight limit is translated to how much vitality the pad can consume, and the productivity is translated to how many items the pad can carry or give you. Now, the maximum value for each of these is 100. However, when you cache the pad, the dispatch stat that the pad has are random, and unfortunately the dispatch stat cannot be changed, or at least I haven't figured out yet how you can increase the pad dispatch stat. You can, however, boost the pad HP, weight limit, and productivity with the pad dispatch skill. There are 5 pad dispatch skill. The first one is a skill slot where you can get extra item depending on the item that you assign the pad to have. The second skill is where you can boost the pad HP and weight limit. The third skill is to boost the productivity. The fourth skill is to shorten the pad dispatch time and even has a chance to instantly complete the dispatch. And the last skill gives you a chance to get headgear or card. Depending on what you need for the dispatch, you can make your pad to learn these skills at the Advanced Master Tamer NPC in any city, and what's good about it is that you can change the dispatch skill whenever you like. But getting the dispatch skill that you want is not guaranteed. You have a certain success chance to learn the new skill for your pet, but the cost to learn a new skill is not that expensive. It only costs Zenny, so it is quite easy to change the pet dispatch skill nonetheless. So how to optimally make use of all these? Ideally, for dispatch, you want to catch and use a pet that comes with a good dispatch stat. To try to get a pet that has all 3 highest stats possible, and use the pet dispatch skill to boost its stat further. And depending on the items that you want to get, make it learn the skill to give you extra item. Alright, now moving on to the other function for the pet, for combat. For combat pet, you want to use different pet for combat. Just like the pet for dispatch, the pet for combat also has 5 skill slots. All 5 of these slots have skills that are useful to the pet, either to increase their stat or give them unique skill to use in combat. But out of these 5, these 3 skills are what you want to focus on, because in these 3 skill slots, it has skills that you can also benefit from. Let's start with the pet skill slot 1. It has a lot of useful skill here, but my personal favorite is the aim thrust for physical damage pad and the magic crusher for magic damage pad. This skill has effect to lower down the target physical or magic defense. With this skill, your character will also benefit from it, because now the target defense is reduced and you can deal higher damage to the target. Next, pair that with the pierce or erosion skill on combat skill slot 2. This skill will increase your pet physical or magic penetration stat, so now your pet deal more damage to the target. Combat skill slot 3 is just like slot 1. You can get any skill that have useful effect, like reduce movement speed, for example. Next, skill slot 4. Now in my opinion, this is the ultimatum or the final say for you to decide what pet you should get. So here you should aim for the enchant skill. This skill will allow your pet to convert your weapon to the pet element, and not just that, it also increases that element damage by 16%. So this can affect your build. You might want to utilize a certain element for your build to have a certain element damage. For example, for Hunter, the Hunter has elemental arrow skill which deal a certain element damage, and depending on the skill that you want to use, you should get the pet that have the same element to increase your element damage. So this will decide the way how you should play your character. If say I want to exclusively use the fire arrow skill for my main element damage, then I should be using fire element pet like Picky or Baby Desert Wolf to get the enchant pet skill to increase my fire damage further. You get what I mean? That's one way to look at the 4th slot pet combat skill. And lastly, the 5th slot is also useful to your character. It affects both the pet and your stat. Personally, I like the True Pierce skill. It increases the final defense bypass stat, or in another word, final penetration, but the other skills are good too. All these 5 pet combat skills, just like the pet dispatch skill, they can be changed whenever you like. So in the end, the question is which pet to get. If I need a fire element pet, there are a lot of fire element pets, and so which fire element pet I should get exactly? For that, I still don't know which one to get. Now we have very little information on what are the difference between all of the pets. It is not as clear-cut as the pet that you will use for this patch. The pet that you caught will have their own combat stat, but these stats can be upgraded. It can be changed with the advanced feature future. So in all essence, all pets have the potential to be the best pet if you manage to get high stats from advancing the pet. That being said, it eventually comes to one thing. Does the pet have stat limit? Does every pet have different stat limit? Does the pouring have higher HP limit than the lunatic? And so on. If so, what are the pets that have the highest stats for all category? And that I do not know yet. Hopefully we will have more information on that, and once for all finally know what are the best pet to get. Alright, if you know anything about the pet that I had not covered in this video, please let me know at the comment below. That's it for this video. This time video shout out goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.